Welcome back. I've got Beelzebub under the cover here without the bonnet, but it looks reasonably complete. The bonnet is it's, at the moment it's sitting right outside the house. I've just welded in the new metal. It needs dressing. It will need filing, and you know, it's slightly distorted, but I'm not particularly worried about that. I'll come back to that. But there's another area of concern on the bonnet. This is the shut face. This is the top that shuts down against the windscreen. And it's really quite rusty inside here. You know, it's just rotten. This is what it should look like, and it's just a strengthening panel, and it's got a swage line here, and so it's flat there. Then it starts again with the swage, even though you can't see it. There's definitely a swage line all the way through, and then it finishes somewhere there. This is okay, that's just surface, that will clean up, but I'll have to cut it here right the way back to there, and I'll need to sort of form a piece with this shape in it, and what I'm actually going to do, I've got a piece of wire here. This is a handle of a bucket. So it was bent round, you know, completely bent round. I've just sort of taken it off the bucket and flattened it. So I'm going to lay it down on a curbstone actually, and sort of try and bash the basic sort of swage line into a flat sheet. And what I'll then have to do, because the thing is, the panel's curved. You know, it curves this way. It's not a straight. So when I bash that in, that will force the panel to be straight, and then I need to do a 90-degree fold, and that will force it to be straight. So I'll have to shrink the edge, and the folded edge. It's only about a 10mm fold. If I shrink the edge with, I'll probably do it with the acetylene flame. If you warm up a dot till it's cherry red, then use a wet sponge and it sort of not extinguish the flame. There won't be a flame, but rapidly cool it. So you do it in a little sort of discs. Cherry red, cool it. Do another one, cherry red, cool it. And you just do a series of cherry red discs that you quickly cool down. And what happens, the cooling process forces the metal to cool and shrink, and that will create a slight curve. So that'll be interesting, but yeah, it should be easy enough to cut this. But I do need the basic shape. But I'll trim the material, and I'll try and do it by hand on the curbstone. And I'll have to, as long as I've got the basic shape in, I'll be able to sort of chase it in with weights and a planishing hammer. But I need that swage line. I want it to look like this. And there's another bit here. It's just, this is going to have to be cut out as well. I'll probably get away with leaving the swage line there, but I will have to cut that. What's happened here? This is due to lack of use. When the bonnet's been closed, it's obviously been somewhere where moisture in the atmosphere is sort of condensed underneath here, and it's just sat in a pool. If the car was driven, it'd have got warm. With the engine, literally, this is the bonnet lagging. The heat from the engine would have just dried this out. And this is sort of years of barely being used that's caused this. And it's why the car needs a restoration, really. People say, well, surely it just needs a respray. Yeah, there's not actually that much wrong with the other side of the bonnet, but it's areas like this that need fabricating, cutting, welding, grinding, painting before you can come to the cosmetic attention outside. So yeah, it'll be a bit of a challenge, but I don't think it'll be too difficult. I'll make another film. You know, I'll be sort of walloping, you know, a flat sheet of steel over this with a rubber mallet to begin with. I'll start it with a rubber mallet, and then I'll sort of detail it with a weight and a hammer.